Um, Obviously, I think it starts from the trust standpoint. Obviously they believe in me to, be the leader of this team. And if you had to ask me, they do a hell of a job of, putting players around me to, make me look good. So I feel like that's a good thing. We had a run, we improved every year. And my mindset going into next year is, to lead with a parade.
John, you've been around the Salt Lake Summer League. You've always been around to be with the young guys. How important is that for you as a leader to be around even in the offseason?
It's big time, being the leader of the team. I feel like, that's important. And, we have, a group of young guys who came in, with our draft picks and, some who was rookies last year, who, it's their first time in summer league or, going through this process. And, it's my job to help them and, do anything I can to make them, feel more comfortable and, play at their best level.
Specifically, what are the things that you do try to talk to them about to make them more comfortable as they make the adjustment for you?
I feel like the same thing I can say to coach, what I see on the floor, whether if I'm out there or not out there. As far as, my position go, the point guard, whoever handling the ball is just, ways to make your job easier, ways to, get the team better shots. And, as far as, mindset go, I've had bad games before, I have great games. So, no matter how your game going, you got to affect the game in other ways. So always encouraging and, instilling confidence in those players.
John, what's your thoughts on like player empowerment with superstars and just how much input, if any input, do you want to have on future decisions in terms of rosters and things like that?
The roster we got, I'm fine with. I feel like we have every piece we need to, be a great team in this league and win a lot of championships.
On that point, like you hear so many times about guys not being happy in their situation. Why are you happy in their situation?
I feel like a lot of credit goes to the organization with making me happy. Bringing me in, made me feel at home, allowed me to, be myself while I'm out there on the court, being able to play my game. Coach having that trust in me to, be that leader on the floor, whether it's, calling a play or, whatever. It makes me happy, and just the loyalty and, joy they, show me with me being here, means a lot to me, coming from somebody who's a big family person. And I feel like, the whole organization is my family, Memphis is my family, and that's why this is my home.
We'll take a couple questions from Zoom. Let's go to WMC first.
Hey, John, you got me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right, cool.
Yelling a little bit.
Sorry, I'll try to turn it down a little bit. Obviously, this is life-changing money for you and your family, and you've talked about the humble beginnings that you've come from. Have you had a moment to reflect on how this changes the Morant family for generations to come?
I honestly did in Utah. It was a late night. I had a balcony, and, I just went outside the balcony and, I looked at the city. And I recorded a video, and my mom, my dad, my little sister can, back me up on this. I sent them a video and was like, I'm happy, we made it. I didn't say I made it. I said we made it because they pushed me to, get to this point. They believed in me, encouraged me when I was down. But I told them, we're not done yet. It's a lot of more work to do. It's a lot of, getting better to do for me, on and off the floor, and as a family, on and off the floor. And I feel like, that's when I actually, had that serious moment, when I was alone by myself, without my family beside me, when I had that moment about signing the contract.
John Wright.
Can you hear me?
John, you there?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
I can hear him here. His question was, when you heard you answer your own question in May, or do I want to be here?
The question was for him, was for the GM.
You. Sorry, John.
From the organizational standpoint, the decisions don't get any easier. From the very beginning, sitting down with Job the first time at the combine, looking straight at each other, the trust level, I think it clicked, really early on, and it's only, grown and grown from there. There's no one, who I would want, at the heart of this team like Ja is, and I have all the confidence in the world that we're going to get, together to where we want to get to, which is winning championships in Memphis. It's going to be a concerted, continued, push to get there, as soon as we can. I have complete belief with Ja leading us out there on and off the court. Honestly, what Ja does in the city of Memphis as well, could not be more significant. This is what you want, in a leader of a franchise, of an organization. We're very fortunate to be in a spot where Ja, Jaren, Dez, this unbelievable group of guys, but Ja really at the heart of that, pushing us forward. I've got all the confidence in the world that we're going to get to where we want to together. So it's an exciting place to be today.
Hell yeah.
Let's go to Avery Braxton. Avery, you there? Okay, let's go to Isaac Simpson.
They only talk when you call them out.
Hey, this question is for John.
Hey,
Man, you always talk about your dad being your biggest hater growing up. Now that you signed this deal, like what is he saying now?
Honestly, after announcement came out, he just gave me a high five and a hug. He really didn't say too much. I give him probably another week or so before he turns back into the T Morant I know.
Terry Davis.
Terry.
Hey, what's up, Ja? How you doing?
Every time. It's on cue.
Hey, Ja. I know this money means a lot, and I know you have such a great big heart. So what do you see your impact outside of basketball with your newfound wealth?
I feel like it starts with my family. Obviously, my backbone, my daughter, making sure she's, good for life. And then I take it to the community, where I grew up as a kid, wishing, I had, certain things to be able to obviously, make me a better player, but also help me, with life stuff. So I feel like, out of those three things, my money, goes to that. And my manager will say saving.
Let's go to Mike Sadie.
Hey, it's actually Samaria. I'm sorry. I'm just under mics. Ja, I wanted to ask you about the courts around Memphis. Just talk about how that even came about. How did you decide where to put the courts? And then I know that you popped up on the kids, and what was that like for you?
It's really, just talking, with Body Armor and, Coca-Cola. We all collaborated and, we came up with the decision to, refurbish courts in Memphis. And we actually found that court, and, it was actually multiple courts. As a kid, that's, where I grew up on, concrete court. And it kind of reminded me of, being back home, playing on that court. So, all that went into play with, making a decision on, where the courts would be at. And as for me to, be there, the kids to be there, see them having fun, me being able to, give them experience, they, remember for life. It's definitely big time for me. Obviously, Body Armor and Coca-Cola as well. But as my family, knowing, how we grew up.
Sharon Brown.
Hey, Ja, how you doing? I know you have a giving attitude. Can you talk about the $500 you gave the waitress? It's now a viral video all over the world.
That's an everyday thing for me. If I ever go out to eat, a motto I always live by is blessings come when you bless others. And, that's just something I take into consideration, when I'm leaving the tip, when I'm out to eat. It was actually crazy after I did it, that she, recognized me. It was funny that how she pronounced my name at first as well, but it's just shocking to see. I feel like it's something, I would never get used to with, people, being a fan of me and everything. It's kind of actually why I feel like I'm gonna wear my hair up for a little bit when she did the demonstration of that player. So
Peter Edmondson.
Hey, gentlemen, this one is for Zach. Zach, I remember talking to you, about, this was a month before the lottery, right? When you had gotten your new job, and you see how things have turned out and the fact that you guys got really fortunate in that lottery, and now you're executive of the year and the team is on a tremendous upswing. On a personal level, how much do you appreciate and how much credit do you give to that situation and the ability to draft Ja in your own career?
Yeah, I consider myself incredibly fortunate, honestly, to be in an organization, with under, Robert Parra's, ownership, leadership, tone setting of what we're about. The things that we value, culturally to be in this position in the first place is something that I don't take lightly, and I'm very grateful for. For things to have played out, the way that they did, to really to win that lottery and to get to know Ja very early in that process and know, that this is our guy, and from there, really working, together with great people all around me, from Taylor, and the rest of the coaching staff, the front office, Ja, Des, Jaron. I consider myself very fortunate to be surrounded by excellent people. This is a journey that we're all excited to be on together. It's a journey that we're excited to see out. We have, all the confidence in the world that we're going to get to where we want, and to do that our way, to do that within our culture with our kind of people, we're going to do it our way, and we're excited to get to that point together.
Kelly Evans.
Hi, Ja. This question is for you. Coming into the league at such a young age, the world has really watched you soar. What's been the hardest part of your journey so far?
The hardest part, the media. Sorry, y'all.
A lot of tough questions here.
Not y'all. I love y'all. But the negative media, I feel like, they always have something to say negative, about not only me. I pretty much don't care, but as far as my team, I'm always the one to speak out, that saying I feel like, we deserve a lot of more respect than we get. That's probably most frustrating thing for me, because being a leader, I can tell my team to, focus on us and, not worry about the negativity, but we show day in and day out, what we're about here and how we play, and, how good of a team we are, and, we still receive that. So I feel like that's just the most frustrating, being a leader of a team and, not wanting to have everybody, focus on the negative part of the NBA, but the positive. But I love the positive media.
Thank you.
So y'all don't be mad at me. Okay.
We have time for one more on Zoom. Let's get it back to WNC.
John, obviously the contract seemed like a formality for a long time, but is there just a sense of relief to put pen to paper, get it out of the way, know you're here for the next 5 years and you can just ball?
For sure. It's definitely a relief. I can just play basketball. Shout out to the organization, this guy right here.
You didn't have much to worry about.
Yeah, what he said, but yeah, it's a relief for sure.
Any final questions in the room?
Ted, do you want to go a wrap up on what you saw in Salt Lake City in the 3 games?
Yeah, absolutely. So I think encouraging, for
let's go. Let's go. Start with Josh. Let's go. Josh's initial thoughts on the rookie class.
The GOAT did it again. He did it again, man.
It's far too kind. We are excited about the guys we were able to bring in. It's a group of guys who fit, as much as anything, that our ethos, the things we care about from a competitiveness standpoint, from a desire to get better, every day. It's a group of guys that have come in and I think really understood what we're about, from day one. And we want to bring in, guys like that time and time again. Those are the guys that we're going to invest in. Those are the guys that we're going to seek out, to add to this group. And I think, from Jake, David, Kennedy, Vince, and Junior, Kenny Lofton Jr., we're really excited about what we've seen from that group. Just from a competitiveness standpoint, they went out in Salt Lake. They played really hard. They played together. I think they played for each other. They took a punch in the mouth in the first half of the game last night in Salt Lake, and they regrouped at halftime. They found a way, against a tough, Jazz Summer League team. So encouraged from what we've seen from that group, and they think they're going to help us, this year and going forward. So excited about the guys who brought in.
Zach, going back to the roster, the Jaren Jackson Jr. Expected to be out probably at the beginning of the season. How does that impact, roster decisions in terms of where you go from here? Are you pursuing, planning to look at the free agency market or the trade market? Is there anything there to help us the roster?
Yeah, so with where we're at this point, first off, Jaren's going to be just fine. This is not a concerning, injury. Jaren's already putting in the work, and we know he's going to get back, and we know he's going to be even better. So not worried about Jaren. He's going to be a big part of our group this season. As far as where we're at with the roster, I really like, all the guys we've been able to bring in. I'm honestly thrilled with this group and where we're going to be able to get to. We're always, there's no stone unturned. I think, like I said, when we sat down at the end of the season, we're not going to do something splashy just to do something. We're purposeful here about saying, how are we going to get better in a way that's, going to, optimize our chances of winning a championship. And that's within our culture. That's not selling out and adding someone just to add someone. We're making calls, if there's opportunities, where we can make the team, better within our culture. If there's guys we feel like we can bring in that are going to be additive and that are going to help push us forward, we're going to be very aggressive. We've explored things like that, but we're not just going to go out and do something just to do it. So we'll see if anything does come to fruition. If this is the roster that we have going into the season, we feel great, about this group and where we're at and where we're going to be able to push forward with them, with the assets, that we still have accumulated that we're going to be able to use to add, to that roster. So we're always looking for ways to get better. If there's something that we can jump on that we're confident makes us better, and fits within our approach and our culture, we're going to jump on it and we're going to do it. But we're not going to do something just to do something.
Questions?
He talked a lot about how
obviously, starting with a brother, teammate, and pretty much a vet, for him, being in the league for 3 years, had my ups and downs, learned, new things, each year. Just telling them, what I see and, how I go about the game. And obviously, our previous relationship, I knew, he was a hell of a player. So I know what he's, capable of. And it's just, showing him, things I look for while I'm out there on the floor. And I'm pretty sure, he can do the same thing, knowing him for some years. So that's pretty much it.
Thanks, John. Thanks, Zach.
Thanks, Alvaro.